And what's up, freaks? In our last video, we checked out the carnage of the engine. We might as well shift our focus into the transmission. Sorry, I had to. Anyway, we're gonna tear into the daggum thing. You ready to go? Let's go!
To some losses through the process had me furious, but I got eyes on the vision, can't get delirious. Fall in love with the game and then you marry it. I think I married it. This the anthem. If you rockin' with it, put your hands up. Yeah, this the anthem. If you get up and get it, put your hands up.
What's up, freaks? We're out here in the barn. I came out here and I started off getting everything organized, and I put bolts and baggies and put them in the bolt box. I figured I would come out here and start tearing the trans apart, and I'd be lying if I wasn't hoping to get lucky, right? Like, I mean, that's a pretty heavy halt on the transmission, so I just assumed something had to happen. I still don't know what happened, but I did push it out there, and I wanted to get all the pan off and everything out there for any trans fluid that leaks, because it's a pain in the butt anywhere, but in the barn, it really sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you what I found in about the 2 seconds of disappointment. And I don't exactly know what everything is, so I don't know how bad it is, but I know it's not good either. Again, without any deep dive, I don't know what any of this stuff is. Particles, that's a weird piece of metal on that. It almost looks like a clip rather than a piece of a gear, but I just don't think it's good. Dadgummit. Yeah, that really looks like a piece of a clip to me. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I probably should have looked at the manual before I even just talked about it right now. But I've never really looked exactly how you're supposed to get the pump out of here. So instead, this time of just forcing the bolt in there and breaking the inside of the transmission, I got out the old axle slide job and just gave those bolts a couple whacks. And yeah, worked pretty well. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to do it. Should probably look that up. But until then, this worked just fine. First glance getting the pump off, I don't know what in the heck. Oh no. Well, whatever it was, I just dropped it back into the great abyss, but some kind of debris had gotten in there. A piece of a cotter pin. I have no idea. It was pretty small. I definitely keep seeing metal. Like, that's definitely metal. Faux show metal. I honestly didn't find any like smoking gun of an issue. It was kind of weird that I kept finding some metal pieces here and there. I'm not gonna guess at what they are, but I didn't find anything that looked like it was missing metal. The only thing I seen that even made me question anything was the outside of this drum. And now, yeah, you can kind of see it's got like bites in it almost. And the inside here, I'm waiting to hear back, but my theory right now is from it catching during the shifts, because it essentially is a brake, right? Like so I don't know. I don't know if that has merit to it or not, and that is the front clutches. So if that checks out, I'm good to put it back together. There was a couple hot spots on a couple of the steels, but nothing was smoked. The clutches looked fine. Everything looked overall pretty daggone good. Again, other than the weird piece of metal or two. And actually, here's one right now. I don't know. The only other thing I can think of is tearing up. I guess it's not impossible to tear the overdrive open, because it's got that weird bolt thing. I don't know if that would have spun. I couldn't have. I don't know. Anyway, we'll keep digging, see what we find. So far, nada. So far, other than that little tiny piece I lost in the beginning out of the pump, these are the pieces I found. And again, they're such a weird... I'm gonna keep digging. I don't have a choice. All right, so it is Wednesday. I've had a couple of days at the shop helping the guys with the Mustang, getting their videos ready. Now it's time to jump back on this transmission. With that little bit of metal I found, I am not very secure in putting the car or the transmission back together. I've talked to a couple people now. The thing about the markings on the front clutch pack and the holder is apparently it's not a big deal. The inner diameter does not matter. It's not affected by anything. It makes contact with nothing. So basically all that means to me is that something got in between there. What that is what I'm trying to discover. Those little metal pieces, man. Again, without digging deeper, it just looks like part of the clips that maybe the temperature sensor would have been held on. Who knows, right? Like, the trans was just out before the car obviously went away. The trans was out after the car went away. Sometimes shrapnel and things can fall in there. So that is also a possibility, but I'd rather tear it apart and be safe than sorry. Okay, so I just went to the store. It's only like 10 minutes up the road. But I've been letting the torque converter drain over this bucket. I literally took this bucket in the house and washed it completely with Dawn dish soap, make sure there's nothing in it. And even wiped it out just to see what I could see. And that looks like a piece of metal. Now here's the problem. This is grass. It all... So that looks like grass. How the hell? But it looks real frickin' glittery. Oh yeah, there's the hue. There's for sure a couple bigger pieces in there. No matter what the rest of that stuff is. I don't know. All right, freaks, it's Thursday afternoon. We just got home from work. We are out in the barn, and we got a couple things that we're going to try looking at, digging a little deeper. John Capizzi gave me some pointers of some things that it could potentially be. And also, I think I have all but confirmed I'm going to send the torque converter out. I am going to get a hold of Brent Wilkerson and see what he has to say on where to send it. But I did take the pump apart this morning and found some more shrapnel to add into the baggie. It is all very thin shrapnel, I will say that. So I'm going to keep digging, see what we can find out. I'll keep you all updated. Hopefully we find a smoking gun, because dadgummit, the shrapnel's coming from somewhere. We know that. We just got to find out where. All right, so I'm over here taking a diff apart. I don't think that the problem's inside here, but I also don't know that it's not. I will admit, getting this bearing off without a press was kicking my butt. And earlier, this is from me trying to get the bolts off with a wrench, but there was not enough room to get leverage. So that's not ideal. I do have another bearing, so not a big deal. Not sure that that's not usable. The trace seems fine. The bearings roll fine. I probably just straighten that out, but I do have an extra one. So worry about getting that pressed on later. That's going to be a pain in the butt without a press. I know that. But I was jacking this bolt up, admittedly. So this is the only option. I have got that bolt out with an impact. These Johnnies are in there, I'll tell you that. Anyway, we'll tear this apart and see what we find inside. All right, let's take this Johnny off. What do we see? Well, we don't see a welded center diff. How many of you are surprised by that? And I'm not saying I recommend it. I just like to live dangerously. This is what's kind of frustrating, right? Like, you don't want there to be anything wrong, like not even the slightest. But I do want the answer to the debris, and so far I'm not finding it. But I will say this, now that the whole deal is apart, it is the perfect time to get a welded center diff. So I will make that happen, but man, I really wanted there to be an answer in there. There's not. Oh, perfect, drop that. Meant to. So I did find the first marks of damage, and it is on this center diff. And again, this is something you should not be messing around with. I just like to live dangerously as a joke, but I just didn't have the transmission part, and it is what it is. So Gumpy hates to do it, but this is where we're leaving off in the video. Torque converter, we're waiting on the info on who to ship it to, how to ship it, how long it'll take, what the torque converter is. We did discover numbers on the front and some numbers on the back. So I should be able to call and at least get the specs on the torque converter with Gumpy's assistance, of course. On this end of things, the center diff is apart. And I am going to take this into work and it will become a welded center diff, which that is the only thing I've seen on this entire thing that makes sense of the debris. Oh, I can't even get this off. That's how bad it is. Ka-chow. Ka-chow, no ka-chow. Ha-chia. Anyway, yeah. And this is after I took a little bit of a scuff to it just so I could get it back on there. So, again, not ideal. We'll get that squared away. As far as all this stuff goes, again, I did not find a super smoking gun. And the thing I said that I was waiting to check out, I could not even find to check out. It's like a sprag spring or something. Everything baggied to try to keep as much dirt and debris out of it as possible. You know what, Andrew? Maybe it's time, brother. Maybe it's time. So, boom! That's all the progress for today's video. As you can tell, my partner in crime is absolutely whooped. Unfortunately, we didn't find a smoking gun, but we are taking the steps to find what we can. The torque converter is going to get sent out, the diff's going to get welded, and we're going to keep digging. So you'll have to tune in next week's video to see what we find. Also, we got some exciting things coming up. We're going to be racing the Mustang and Streetcar Takeover next weekend at Martin 131, in case you're unfamiliar. So yeah, that car's fast as F, boy! I can't wait to get behind the wheel. We have not gotten a W this year, so I'd love to chase that one down. How's your projects going? Are you guys out there working on them? Hello? You? Yeah, definitely talking to you, bro. I can tell you have not wrenched on your project in a long, long time. So right now, what? What'd you say? Gumpy said if you're not out there doing it, it's daggum not getting done. So get off the YouTubes and go wrench on your daggum projects. And until next time, I encourage you guys to be just like Gumpy is with his ball. And get out there. Get outside your daggum comfort zone. Feed dreams and start fears, y'all.